When you look at how fast the automotive world is changing, especially with this huge shift towards electric vehicles, it's pretty staggering.
It really is. The pace is incredible.
And right here in Georgia, you're seeing that up close.
Mm.
Hyundai's putting massive investment into their Metaplan America near Savannah. We're talking over 8,100 jobs.
A huge number. Significant for the state.
But as exciting as that is, it raises a really big question, doesn't it? How do we make sure we actually have the skilled people ready to, build these advanced cars?
That's the crucial part. It's one thing to announce the jobs.
Right.
It's another to have a workforce ready to actually do them.
So that's what we're diving deep into today. We've been looking at some information about a pretty fascinating initiative aimed at getting Georgia's workforce ready for this whole EV revolution.
And it's a vital question. Many places are facing this. Modern EV manufacturing, it's different.
How so? Beyond just being electric.
Well, think about it. You've got highly precise EV battery assembly. Then there's the whole safety aspect around high-voltage systems, which is critical.
Absolutely. Can't mess around with that.
Exactly. And then you layer on the robotics, the AI that's increasingly driving the manufacturing process itself. It demands a different skill set. Sure. There's definitely a skills gap we need to talk about.
Okay, and that gap is where this company, EON Reality, seems to be stepping in. They've got this strategic initiative focused on building what they call an AI-ready workforce, specifically for auto and EVs here in Georgia.
Yes, and their AI Academy for Income Automotive EV track seems central, powered by something they call Spatial AI technology.
Spatial AI. We'll need to unpack that. But the core idea, the mission here, is basically to bridge that skills gap using some pretty innovative training methods, right?
That seems to be the goal. It's proactive, trying to get ahead of the curve instead of reacting once the gap becomes a major problem. It's not just about teaching tasks. It's about preparing people for this new AI-driven manufacturing environment.
Okay, let's dig into the why a bit more. We mentioned Hyundai, but I get the sense the growth in Georgia is broader than just one plant.
Oh, absolutely. Hyundai's Metaplan is a huge anchor, no doubt, but it attracts an entire ecosystem around it.
Like suppliers and related businesses?
Exactly. Companies providing battery components, charging infrastructure, software. They all need skilled workers, too.
Yeah.
It's a ripple effect. And like we said, these modern facilities need very specific expertise.
Right. The battery tech, the high voltage safety.
The robotics programming and maintenance, working alongside AI systems. It's a whole new ball game compared to traditional auto manufacturing.
And I guess the old ways of training people, maybe apprenticeships or classroom stuff, they might struggle to keep up, both with the speed and the complexity.
That's a really key point. Traditional methods have value, of course, but they can be slow. And, critically, how do you safely train someone on, say, high-voltage procedures for the very first time?
Yeah, you can't really learn that by trial and error on the factory floor.
Not safely, no. So you need training solutions that are faster, scalable to reach lots of people, and, crucially, safer. Which brings us nicely to what exactly is EON Reality offering here?
Okay, walk us through this EON Reality ecosystem. You said it's more than just software.
Right. Think of the EON XR platform as the foundation. It's cloud-based, a software-as-a-service solution, basically a platform for creating and rolling out these interactive 3D training simulations.
Okay, interactive 3D training. Makes sense for complex tasks.
But the part that sounds like a potential game changer is their Spatial AI text-to-XR engine.
Spatial AI text-to-XR. Okay, break that down. How does text-to-XR actually work? XR meaning extended reality, right? Virtual, augmented.
Exactly. So imagine you've got like a really dense technical manual for assembling an EV battery, or maybe standard operating procedures for a robotic arm.
Okay, lots of text, maybe some diagrams.
Right. This Spatial AI tech can supposedly take that text-based information, the steps, the safety warnings, everything, and turn it into an interactive 3D XR training module. And they claim it can do this incredibly fast, maybe under 80 seconds.
Wait, under 80 seconds, from a manual to an interactive simulation.
That's the claim. So instead of just reading instructions, you could be in a virtual environment, manipulating virtual parts, following guided steps in 3D.
Wow, so you're actually doing the task virtually.
Precisely. And you can practice, make mistakes, learn the flow, all without any real-world risk or cost. Think about high-voltage safety drills generated this way, or practicing on a complex, expensive piece of machinery.
The safety aspect alone seems huge, and the speed of creating the training means it can keep up with changes.
That seems to be a major benefit. EV tech evolves fast. Being able to update training materials almost instantly is a big advantage.
And this tech is the engine behind their AI Academy for Income Automotive EV track. How does that academy structure work?
Yeah, the Academy is the program built around this tech. It's designed as a pipeline for the workforce. It uses these XR simulations, but also integrates AI to personalize the learning path for each person.
Personalized learning. So it adapts to how quickly you pick things up.
That's the idea. Focus on mastery of the skills. And as you go, you can earn micro-credentials, like mini certifications, that are recognized by industry. And crucially, it aims to create direct hiring funnels with Georgia's auto employers.
So it connects the training directly to potential jobs. That's smart.
It's meant to be an end-to-end solution.
You also mentioned an EON career guide and compass. What's that about?
That sounds like another AI tool.
Yeah.
It helps individuals figure out what roles exist in this sector, maybe assesses their current skills, and then suggests training pathways within the academy to get them ready for specific jobs they're interested in.
Kind of like a personalized career advisor using AI.
Something like that, yeah. Guiding people towards those in-demand roles.
And the curriculum itself, the AI era automotive curriculum, what makes it AI era?
Well, first, it's co-created with industry experts there in Georgia. So it's tailored to what companies like Hyundai and their suppliers actually need.
So relevant skills.
Very relevant. But it's not just the how-to of assembly or high-voltage work. It specifically includes training on how to interact with AI systems on the factory floor, how to interpret data from smart machines, how to collaborate effectively with robots.
So it's preparing you for the environment of a modern factory, not just the tasks.
Exactly. It's building both the practical skills and that sort of digital literacy and adaptability needed for advanced manufacturing. And they claim learners can grasp skills up to 4 times faster this way.
4 times faster. That's a bold claim.
It is. But the idea is that immersive, hands-on virtual learning really improves retention and understanding compared to just passively reading or listening. They mentioned something like potentially cutting time to competency by up to 60%.
60% reduction in training time. That would be massive for getting people ready quickly.
Huge. For the individuals getting skilled faster and for the companies needing that talent urgently.
Okay, so we get the why the skills gap and the what this EON reality AI and XR solution. Let's talk how. How do they actually plan to roll this out across Georgia? Collaboration sounds key.
Absolutely critical. They're partnering at multiple levels. First with state agencies, the Georgia Department of Economic Development, GDECD, and also Georgia Quick Start, which has a long history of workforce training.
Okay, so state-level buy-in and integration.
Right. For strategic alignment, connecting with industry, maybe tapping into existing state programs and funding streams, that's vital for scale.
Makes sense. What about the places people actually go for training, like technical colleges?
Essential partners. They're working with the Technical College System of Georgia, TCSG, and specific colleges like Savannah Tech. These institutions have the campuses, the instructors, the reach into local communities.
So the plan is to embed this EON training into existing college programs.
Seems like it. Integrating the XR simulations and AI learning tools into their automotive and technical offerings. Leveraging their existing infrastructure.
And you absolutely need the car companies involved too, right? To make sure the training matches what they need.
Couldn't do it without them. They're partnered directly with Hyundai, also Remington, which makes firearms, but has advanced manufacturing in Georgia, and importantly, the Tier 1 and Tier 2 suppliers in the automotive chain.
What do the companies bring to the table?
They help define the skills needed, validate the training content, provide subject matter experts. Plus, crucially, they can offer things like apprenticeships or co-op programs, and ideally, prioritize hiring graduates from the academy. It closes the loop.
Okay, so state, education, industry, all working together. How flexible is the delivery? Can people access this anywhere?
They seem to be planning a flexible approach. Maybe dedicated AI Academy hubs in key areas, integration into the TCSG campuses we mentioned, potentially mobile XR training units to reach more rural areas.
Mobile units, like a classroom on wheels with VR headsets.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. And also train the trainer programs so local instructors at the colleges can become proficient in delivering this XR-based training themselves. Builds capacity long term.
Okay, so let's focus on the payoff. For the listener, maybe someone thinking about a career in this field, what are the big benefits this whole initiative aims to deliver for them and for Georgia?
Well, for Georgia's economy, the big one is dramatically faster workforce readiness. That claim of cutting time to competency by up to 60%, learning 4x faster, That helps meet the urgent needs of places like the Meta plant.
Gets production ramped up faster.
Exactly. And enhances skill retention. They claim over 75% knowledge retention with this immersive learning. That means higher quality work.
And for the individual trainee, what's in it for them?
Huge benefits. First, that zero-risk training for high voltage and other safety procedures. That's invaluable peace of mind while learning critical skills.
Yeah, practicing safety in VR sounds much better than the alternative.
Definitely. Plus, the training stays current because the spatial AI allows for instant updates. You're learning the latest stuff. And it's potentially more cost-effective and scalable, making high-quality training accessible across the state.
And fundamentally, it's about getting skills for the future, right?
Yeah.
Not just today's factory, but tomorrow's.
That's the core of the AI-ready idea, equipping people not just to use the tech, but to collaborate with AI, analyze data, troubleshoot complex automated systems. It future-proofs their careers.
And all of that together strengthens Georgia's economy, attracts more investment, creates more opportunities. It's a virtuous cycle.
That's the vision, yes.
No.
Amplifying the economic impact of these big investments.
When you lay it out like that, the contrast with traditional training methods seems pretty stark. Can we quickly compare them side by side on a few key things?
Sure. Content creation. Traditional is slow, manual, costly. Spatial AI is near instant. Learning speed. Traditional pace versus potentially 4x faster with XR. High voltage safety. Limited or risky practice versus unlimited, zero-risk virtual practice.
Robotics training.
Limited by physical robot availability versus unlimited virtual practice. AI data skills. Often missing in traditional versus integrated in the EON curriculum. Scalability and cost. Physical constraints versus cloud-based flexibility and potential cost savings. It's quite a difference on paper.
Yeah, it really highlights the potential shift. Could you give us some more concrete examples, like specific tasks where this text-to-XR could really shine in training?
Okay, think about virtual EV battery assembly. The AI turns the manual into an interactive guide. High voltage safety. AI generates endless safety drill scenarios for you to practice in VR.
So you experience different emergency situations.
Exactly. Or learning to operate and program robots in a virtual work cell without risking damage to real expensive machines. Augmented reality could guide a technician wearing glasses, overlaying instructions onto a real engine part during maintenance, AI turning service manuals into AR guides.
Wow, AR guidance in real time.
Yeah. AI-assisted quality control simulation. Troubleshooting automated production line faults generated by AI, simulating supply chain logistics, even practicing ergonomic assessments for assembly line tasks as VR.
It seems like almost any procedural or hands-on task could be transformed.
Pretty much. Diagnosing connected vehicle systems, practicing final vehicle inspection protocols. The applications seem really broad. It makes complex tasks more intuitive to learn.
And we saw a glimpse of the curriculum outline for this automotive EV technician for the AI era. Can you walk us through the modules briefly?
Sure. It looks well structured. Module 1 is Foundations, EV Basics, Smart Factories, and importantly, those AI-generated XR safety drills.
Safety first.
Absolutely. Module 2 dives into EV systems and assembly battery packs, motors, lots of XR simulation, with AI helping create modules from technical specs.
Okay.
Module 3 is Automation, Robotics, and AI collaboration simulating robot work cells in XR, using AI to generate fault scenarios for troubleshooting practice.
So learning to work with the automation?
All right. Module 4 covers advanced diagnostics and quality assurance, including virtual measurement tools, virtual metrology. And Module 5 is about workplace effectiveness and future skills communication, teamwork, continuous learning.
It sounds really comprehensive, hitting both the technical and the sort of adaptive skills.
And the key is that this curriculum isn't static. Because of the spatial AI, it can be updated rapidly as technology and processes change.
That dynamism is crucial. We also have a quote here from Dan Ledgerskar, the chairman of EON Reality. What's his take?
He really emphasizes Georgia's strategic move into EVs and advanced manufacturing. He points out that to capitalize on investments like Hyundai's, you need a workforce trained for that future. He sees their spatial AI as key to quickly creating tailored training for complex things like battery assembly, empowering Georgia to build that AI-ready workforce.
So bringing it all together then, what's the main takeaway for our listeners from this deep dive?
I think the core message is that Georgia isn't just waiting for the future of automotive manufacturing. It's actively trying to build a workforce for it now. They're using this really innovative approach with EON Reality, leveraging AI and XR, to tackle the skills gap head-on.
And the potential impact seems significant.
Potentially huge. Faster workforce readiness, better skills, safer training, and ultimately strengthening Georgia's position as a leader in this field, which creates real career opportunities for people in the state.
It really does sound like it could be beneficial all around for the companies investing, for Georgia's economy, and critically, for individuals looking for durable, future-focused careers.
Exactly. It's about equipping people with the skills, not just to get a job in these advanced factories, but to actually thrive and adapt as things continue to evolve.
So as we wrap up, it does make you wonder, doesn't it? How else could these kinds of technologies, spatial AI, immersive XR training, transform how we prepare people for other industries facing similar, rapid technological shifts? What other skills gaps could we tackle this way?
That's a great question to ponder. The potential seems vast.
Definitely food for thought. If you're interested in digging deeper into this specific initiative, you can look for more information on EON and Reality and their work in AI and XR for knowledge transfer. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.